All right, everybody, we're back with Welcome to Plathville, my thoughts on episode 3, which is called Cabin in the Woods. Now let's jump right into the description. Micah and Veronica navigate the emotional aftermath of Micah's infidelity ahead of a trip to Georgia for Lydia's surprise proposal. Ethan goes down memory lane with new girlfriend Tegan before confronting Lydia about her decision to marry Zach so quickly.
Just it's really fake and gay. And I am actually an expert on all matters that are fake and gay.
And I believe on the next episode we are getting the actual proposal from Zach, which I am so excited for. So I've got my notes here, so I'll be looking down. But scene 1, Ethan is back in Cairo. So Ethan is riding that damn car back to be with the family from up north. Obviously, he's still living in Minnesota. He is pontificating about his breakup with Olivia. Now, I have decided I'm going to make an Olivia Plath mentioned counter for every episode. Every time one of the natural born Plaths brings up Olivia Plath's name, every single time I'm going to count it. And we're going to see how many times they mention this girl. So this is Olivia Plath counter 1. So this time he's talking about Olivia because he says that he was reluctant to start dating again because of Olivia. He went on a couple dates and he was looking for someone specifically who gets along with the Plaths and is not attracted to drama. And I've said this before, they all like the Plaths at first. Olivia loved the Plaths at first. She was really close with Kim. Veronica loved the Plaths at first. Then she got mad at Mariah and Barry. Like, it just seems like, you know, who's Tegan going to have beef with? Like, is it going to be Micah? Like, that's the last, you know, is it Isaac? Who knows? Like, who's next to get beefed with by one of the Plath significant others? So he calls Tegan the one, and then she is featured on camera for the very first time. Last episode, they just mentioned her. Now, my girlfriend was here for the last episode, and she wanted me to make sure to say that he says he found the one, he might have found the two, which are her huge boobs. Because he mentioned in maybe like the first episode of the season that's specifically what he was looking for. He was looking for big boobs. So first thing I noticed about her, she has a very similar voice to Veronica. And you can tell she's pretty nervous about being on camera. I haven't quite figured her out. And I think really you need to let the nerves settle before you can really figure somebody out on reality TV or really try to get to their intentions. Because she was very confusing. I have a lot of thoughts that I'm not sure what is true here. So she greets him with a hi, handsome. I'm like, it kind of cringed me a little bit. So Tegan does live in Wisconsin and flew out here for Lydia's proposal. She's been to Georgia 3 times so far. And he's giving her first full tour of Cairo. And they share that at this point they've been together for 10 months. They met because she commented on his motorcycle picture. She didn't think she would actually hear from him. I'm wondering if she just came across him on social media or if she had seen the show. And to that I ask, what about the show made you think that you wanted to date this man? I'm just confused. So they're still long distance, Wisconsin to Minnesota. I believe they're like 4 hours apart. She does mention that she drove to him on their first date. Now I don't know if she drove to him or they drove halfway. I would like to know, because girl, if you're driving for the first time meeting this man 4 hours all the way to him, that's kind of crazy. So Tegan went to public school and college. She was raised more normal. She doesn't find it wrong how they were raised as long as they were loved. Ethan says Olivia crapped on the way they were raised. So Olivia Plath counter 2, for second time they mentioned her. But I think that Ethan fails to see that Olivia was raised in a very similar way to Ethan. So was she crapping on how you were raised, or was she crapping on how she was raised? And is she not allowed to do that? Like, of course, yes, she would say specific things about how Kim did things and how she didn't like that. But I think a lot of it too was she didn't like how she was raised. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's fine for her to be able to say that. So then Ethan says he wouldn't trade his raising for anything in the world. Okay, girl. Tegan suggests visiting Kim and the little girls. Tegan shares she is a mom. So I was wondering if they were going to address that, because obviously they didn't address the DUI for 3 years, so I didn't know if they would mention that. And honestly, if she didn't want that out there, which everybody kind of found out if you really follow the show like online, but if she didn't want to share that with just a casual viewer, yeah, I would understand that. But she did share. Ethan does have a relationship with the child. I don't know, like, I think it's like a 3-year-old or 4-year-old or something. I don't really know. Her being a mom doesn't bother Ethan, and he says he actually really likes it, which kind of surprised me. I felt like he wouldn't really be into that. but I think he just likes her maybe, like, and so it doesn't matter what she does. So then right in front of Tegan, this was not in a talking head, right in front of Tegan, he says the bright side of Olivia leaving him is that he has family now. Okay, so Olivia Plath counter 3. Ethan shares he and Olivia are still married. Says Olivia won't respond to his attorney or text, which I don't quite believe. I believe Olivia actually addressed this, that she was trying to get the divorce going for the longest time, and Ethan was holding it up, and now Ethan only wants to hurry this up now and get it going because he is interested in perhaps marrying Tegan. Ethan does say he's in love, and he wants to be divorced ASAP. All right, guys, we're at Micah and Veronica's house now, and we're picking up where we left off on the cheating conversation from the last episode. Micah says he was living in California for 7 months before moving to Florida to be with Veronica full time. He was doing really whatever he wanted. He was sleeping with whoever he wanted. He was going on dates with whoever he wanted. When first moving down, he resented Veronica and wanted to move back to California, and he would go out of town and meet other girls. But then he says the cheating stopped when moving to Florida, but he contradicts that in his statement he just said prior. So I don't know if that was edited weird or if he is being dishonest there. I'm not sure. He says he kept up with other females at the time, which is cheating, but whatever. Micah says he committed before he was ready to commit. Micah said he came clean about 6 months prior to filming about everything, and she has access to his phone, and he says he's been very transparent. I don't know if that's true. Who knows? Veronica said that she didn't leave because she loves him. Which, girl. All right, scene 3. Now we're at Kim's house, and Ethan and Tegan are doing their visiting. This is Kim's first time truly talking with Tegan, but she has met her briefly once before. Ethan does go on a rant about how Olivia affected his relationship with his mom in a talking head, so Olivia Plath counter 4. Ethan asks Kim about Zach. He shares that he doesn't like Zach at all. Ethan says it's too fast, and Kim says it is clear Lydia wanted to be married, but she questions if she wants to be married or if she wants to be married to Zach. Honestly, me and my girlfriend were discussing this. I do think that she wants to be married to Zach, and I think it's just very convenient that Zach is also interested in marrying her quickly. I think that she really does love Zach, and they seem to be well suited for each other, to be honest. Kim calls Ethan a rugged demands man. Maybe recently that's what he's cosplaying as, but that's not how he used to be for the first 22, 23 years of his life. He's only 26. Kim does admit a rugged man's man isn't really what Lydia even wants, which exactly. Ethan says he's going to talk to Lydia about it and grill her a little. He's going to do it before the proposal, which is in a few days from when they're discussing this. Oh, Kim gives Ethan a quilt she made him that he didn't take to his married house when he was married to Olivia. She says that's probably fine because Olivia would have burned it. So Olivia Plath counter 5. There we go. Kim says she felt like Olivia needed to control Ethan, but she doesn't get that vibe from Tegan. All right, scene 4. Ethan and Tegan meet with Lydia at the OG Plath family farm. Lydia said she's glad Tegan is there and that she fits in so well. So look how Lydia is being, like, I get that Ethan and Tegan aren't moving too fast, but Lydia seems very positive and encouraging of Ethan's choices and Ethan's people that he brings in, and very welcoming. Although, you know, I get that it's a very different situation, but Lydia's not getting really that same energy back. It's very awkward at the beginning and quiet. Tegan goes to the bathroom so Ethan can confront Lydia about Zach. Ethan starts with asking what she even sees in Zach. And the vibe of this conversation, when Ethan is talking about Zach, he's very like, he's gay, or something, like it's moving too fast. But he was like very soft and meek when speaking to Lydia, which is good. But I was also like, you said you were going to grill her. Like, this is very chill. Lydia says that what she sees in Zach is that she truly loves him and that Zach will choose her above all else, which I really do think she is correct about that, even though it is pretty soon. Lydia shares she's going to Germany to sit under a ministry. It isn't a mission, but just a ministry. Her pastor recommended they go together married, which it's like, girl, I know that can't be your only reason, but that's a dumb fucking reason to get married. Lydia admits if she was Ethan, she wouldn't understand the speed of the relationship either. So I'm glad that she's like self-aware that this is kind of crazy. Ethan tells Lydia he doesn't like him. Lydia then tears up. And then she finally says that this is the first time that she feels like Ethan cares. Lydia's so positive. Like, that's not why I thought she was crying, you know what I mean? They discuss how they don't even know each other well as siblings. Ethan says he feels that way towards all of his siblings because of Olivia, Olivia Plath, counter 6. She really lives in their mind rent-free, but it's also like, girl, at this point, you've not been with Lydia for a couple years. If you wanted to call all your siblings up on the phone and really reach out to them, you could. And I'm sure they would answer. I'm sure Lydia would love to sit and chat with you on the phone. In these past couple of years, like, I get that, the family was kind of torn apart. I get that. If you want to blame that on Olivia, that's fine. But the last couple of years, you could have been calling people up. You could have been visiting. But it just seems like you haven't been. You could have gotten close with them in the last couple of years. That's not Olivia's fault. Because Olivia's gone. So they kind of end that scene on a good note. Like, obviously Lydia is upset that he doesn't like Zach, but she's good to know that Ethan cares about her and wants to protect her. So now we're on to scene 5 at the Plath farm at one of Kim's vacation rentals. Micah and Veronica are the first to arrive for the engagement. Veronica says, "We are staying at Miss Kimberly's vacation house." She shared online that Kim hates to be called Kimberly. So that's probably why she's doing it. And then Veronica shared she'd rather be at home in Boca Raton. Veronica's on FaceTime with her sister, shit-talking the house. Micah is on the floor trying to find Veronica's eyelashes. Veronica hasn't seen Mariah or Barry since the fuck-ass concert in St. Pete, which at this point, like, how long ago was that? Veronica said she will address things today. Ethan rides in that damn car again with Tegan. Ethan hasn't actually seen Micah since the concert either. And Tegan has never met Micah or Veronica. Okay, Veronica then says she's very similar to Tegan because they both went to college in Florida. They both are blonde, taller, several things about her. And then she shares they'll either love each other or they'll hate each other. Veronica immediately mentions Ethan's huge beard that he's grown. Tegan says she loves it, and Veronica says, "You do?" Which you can tell Tegan's kind of peeved about that comment. Veronica and Tegan are talking off to the side of the boys. Veronica says she is avoiding the family. She said they were sweet at first, then turned. Tegan just says, like, oop to everything. Like, she doesn't really know what to say. And a talking head, Tegan, is uncomfortable with the shit talking. I think especially on camera. I really can't figure out if she truly isn't a shit talker. Like, girl, Ethan is a shit talker. Like, if you're gonna be with Ethan, you need to be a shit talker. I can't tell if she is a shit talker, like, off camera, and just because she's on camera, she's acting like she's not. Veronica says she hasn't met Zach yet, and she is worried. Tegan also hasn't met him. Veronica is going on. And a talking head, Tegan says you shouldn't talk shit and just be supportive of Lydia's decision. Which, do you not know all the shit your man has been talking about Zach to his face? Like, snickering at him, bullying him basically in person. Like, how can you sit there and say that? She either is full of shit or she doesn't know what Ethan's been saying about this dude, like, to his face. Micah then says that Tegan seems very sweet. Then we have a commercial break and we're back at the rental house with the two couples. And the two couples are inside now. Veronica is upset over Mariah and Barry again. And a talking head, Ethan said, Olivia Plath, counter 7. Olivia did the same thing as Veronica. She picked every hill to die on. Ethan tells Veronica to not talk to Mariah until after the proposal. Michael says Veronica always brings resolved arguments back up. And then she has this hilarious clip. I'm going to play it right now. It's the Thanksgiving clip, but if it gets taken down, it gets taken down. If you look up on TikTok, Thanksgiving, Veronica Thanksgiving, you should be able to find it.
So we're here.
Is there anything you can be thankful for today?
It's not Thanksgiving.
Ethan said Mariah is deeply affected and is paying a high price for all the shit that's been going on. And then in a talking head, Micah says Ethan 100% took Olivia's side and cut everyone off. Micah doesn't want to repeat his mistakes, and he wants to meet in the middle with Veronica. So that's Olivia Plath, counter 8 at this point. Ethan does admit Mariah needs to make it right. Ethan says if she wants to be a part of this family, this is the price to pay. Veronica says she doesn't even know if she wants to be in this family anymore. Veronica ends the episode being conflicted to address the drama or keep the peace for Lydia. Honestly, I think she's going to keep the peace just because there's a scene where Mariah and Veronica are very calmly confronting each other at Lydia's wedding, I think that she waited for the wedding to confront her. I don't think she's actually going to confront her on Lydia's proposal day. And then in the coming up or like next on little sequence that's showing us what's on the next episode, Ethan calls Zach pushy. Micah and Veronica are also annoyed with him. And then Ethan starts a fire right before the proposal, and Micah says that he wants to test Zach. So I'm very interested to see how this proposal goes. Me and my girlfriend are very excited. We've got a countdown. We cannot wait for the royal proposal. All right, guys, if you have any other thoughts about the episode, let me know. If you have any predictions for the next episode, let me know, and I'll see y'all next week.
Just it's really fake and gay. And I am actually an expert on all matters that are fake and gay.